Hi everyone, it's Angus here. I just thought I'd show you some tools that I've been building over the last couple of months with the help of some other people. In this one, what I've done is I've gone out and I've started to play with some of the cryptocurrency APIs that are available out there on the web, and I thought I'd just make a coin race just purely for the fun of it, just so you can see over the last 90 days, how some of the lesser known cryptocurrencies have performed. And some of the performances are staggering. Whether you think that crypto is a one giant Ponzi scheme, or whether you think that it's the next best thing, it's still something that can be traded. By no means would I suggest that you put any sort of real money into it, but if it's something that's of interest to you, I just thought I'd share these tools and see what you thought. I'd like to get a little bit of feedback. This first one is a coin race, and so this is just something that I built again for the fun of it. It tracks around 2,500 cryptocurrencies over the last 90 days and just shows you their percentage return from that original 90 days through to where they are now. And you can just sort of see the counter down here, ticking over. And so, it's just something just a bit fun, just a bit visual. I don't know how useful it is. Well, I personally don't think it's particularly useful, in that all it's really doing is saying from 90 days ago, this is the percentage gain that this particular, cryptocurrency has made. But, because of the speculative nature of them, you can see that, it might have been trading at, 0.0001 here. Something's happened, it's spiked up, and, then it's sort of been going down gradually ever since. You could have a look at the second one, again, a great big dip, and again, it's down, a long way down from where it was. TNC, again, it's sort of spiked up. It might be doing something interesting here, but as I said, it's more just purely for the fun of me playing with the technology and getting some historical data over the last 90 days. This is all daily data, and then it just it's just said just purely for a bit of fun. I don't think it's particularly useful. You might be able to click through and spot some opportunities. Something like that one there, might be okay. You can see it's sort of making a little bit of an uptick towards the end, but you really have to go through and do a lot more research on which ones are worthwhile trading. But as I said, it's just purely for the fun of it, and may or may not be of interest. The one that I do really like, the tool that I've been working on, is this bubble race. And before I click on it, and I'll share these links below, and it's all free to use. The advantage of the bubble race that I've built is that it gives you a view of how coins are performing over 90 days, but it shows you both how they're performing as far as price percentage increases go, but also very importantly, how volume is going. And so the way that I've built it is, if I click on it here, and I've got this one, there's a whole bunch of filters, so it's much more advanced than the coin race one. But the way that it works is, again, it goes through, all 2,500 coins. It has a look over the 90 days. And all it's doing here is I've got a few different types of filters where I can say, show me the percentage change, which is just the percentage change of both price and volume over that time period. But what I normally like to do is I normally like to say, well, show me the coins where their price is steadily going up and the volume is steadily going up. So both price and volume are gradually increasing over those 90 days. So it shows you coins that have a little bit of a momentum. And so, that's quite a good way of looking at it. And then I've also then got this thing called weighted highs. And what weighted highs does is it says, well, the coins that are going up gradually, over that monthly period, the ones that have gone up most recently, give them a higher weighting. And it's not particularly sophisticated as to how I do it, but all it's saying is that if a coin's starting to go up more towards the end, then give it a higher rating than a coin that went up, in the middle. And so, there's also things here like you can say, only show me coins that are up 10% over the last 3 months. The reason why I chose 3 months, for 3 months worth of data, is the whole cryptocurrency sector is so speculative that looking at things like over 12 months, it's not so sure that that's gives you any good data. We're really just trying to find the coins that might have a bit of momentum over the last 90 days. Most of these indicators here I don't use. I just included them just purely for the fun of it, and just to give you a little bit of an idea of if you want to play around with it, you can look for moving crossovers and price above a certain amount. But I just like to keep it fairly simple. I have the animated weighted highs because I just like seeing them move around a bit. But let me click on them and I'll start to show you what some of them look like. So this one here, like, what you're doing is looking for the coins that potentially are sort of somewhere over here to the right. But personally, what I'm sort of more interested in doing is I want to find some of the coins that are somewhere down here, when they sort of break into this area here. And I might do something like buy $100 worth of the ones that I think look interesting, and then I might dollar cost average in if they continue to move up, and otherwise I'll have some sort of a stop loss that gets me out, if they head back the wrong way. But let's keep an eye on this one here. So if I click on him, he's ES, so error swap, and this is a beta. So this is very much in its infancy. I'm currently looking to rebuild it using something like Binance, so I get much better data. But you can see this coin here, over 90 days, it's gone up, 240% roughly. And you can see, it's gone up and up and up. It's had a bit of a pullback, and maybe it's about to go up again. But I just thought this is the sort of thing we're trying to do. We're trying to look for these coins where volume has steadily increased and price has steadily increased. And so I just think it's interesting. The size of these circles will also indicate things like their market cap. So the bigger the logo, the bigger the market cap of the stock. And it's kind of set in about 5 different ranges. So rather than something like Bitcoin, being almost the size of the whole thing, we just sort of say, for coins that are, over a certain size, if I click on this market cap thing, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different categories of coins, and there's 7 different sizes of, circle logos, whatever you want to call it. But keep an eye on this one here. So this one's ES. So let's run this thing again, and we'll just keep an eye on him just for interest. So if I click on restore, actually, maybe that didn't work. I'll click refresh. And so let's see if we can see him. So it was ES. And we'll just see how he moves throughout the month. And as I said, there's about 2,500 coins, but I don't worry about tracking them all. I just sort of want to really have a look at the ones. See here, see ES here. So his volume, the first clue that he's going to do well. See his volume right down the bottom here. So his volume has really started to take off. And so all of a sudden his volume spiked, but he hasn't done much with his price at this stage. You can see, on this, he's still down 20% over the month, down 17%, down 16%. You can see the days are changing here. So that's 17th to the 12th, 20th to the 12th. And so he's still down the bottom here. Some of these coins up here have been doing fairly well during that period of time. But I'm still watching this one here because he's the little one that I know ends up the top right. So here we go. You can see, so his volume was doing really well. And now all of a sudden his price is doing well. So that's interesting just to see, how he sort of took off and moved up, after the volume sort of gave you an indication that there was some momentum building. So I think that's interesting. If you have a look at some of these other coins, you can see, 90-day change, 30%, 90-day change, 331%, 623%. So if we go back to our filter, and I can get rid of these, the animation. I just like it for the sake of liking it. But if I go to weighted highs, and let's say change the price increase over 3 months. Let's say I want only coins up over 100%, just to clear the field a bit. And so it doesn't do all the animation, but you can sort of see here's a whole bunch of coins. So let's filter it down further. Let's say show me any coins that are up, say 500%, and see how many remain. And so we've got a lot less, which is interesting. So this one here's up 623, 28,000, which is crazy. But again, it started from nothing. So you always take that with a rule of thumb. I'm really sort of more looking for stocks like these ones where you can see there's sort of a nicer, steadier progression, rather than just these big spikes at the start. As I said, it's a beta, so the interesting thing is my little one at the top right's disappeared, but let's just have a look and see why he's disappeared. So if I change that back to 100%, I think you'll find his price increase wasn't that dramatic. Yeah, so he was up 238, which is why the filter took him out. The other one I kind of like doing sometimes, I like saying, show me the coins that are within, say, 20% of their 12-month high. And so it might show you coins that haven't sort of collapsed in the last 12 months. Yeah, this one, OKB, see how he's just had a sort of a nice steady run. So as I said, beta versions. So some of them I'll have links to their technical docs. Some of them I'll have links to their, coin market cap, profile. That one, Raven, could be interesting. See how it's sort of a nice steady run upwards over the last, 90 days. These links here, most of these coins are, really altcoins, and they're probably not covered by Coinbase or Binance. But as I said, this is just, purely something just to show you that I've been working on, and I like the idea that it's got both price increase and volume increase combined. So it's really showing you those coins that haven't just simply spiked because of a pump. They've actually been consistently gaining over time. If I go back to my filter and I say show me the ones that are purely just percent change increase, so they haven't necessarily been going up steadily. And let's just get rid of the other filter. So I'll get rid of this within 20% to say any, and I might just get rid of this and say any. And this is using end of day data. So when I rebuild it, I want to use Coinbase, and just to give me better quality coins. There's about 350 coins off Coinbase as opposed to around 2,500 off the current feed that I've got. And it'll give me better quality coins and better quality information, so I can start to, some of this stuff here is just, it's meaningless to most people. And so what I'd like to do with a lot of this is to have it a bit more visually, just so I can sort of say, well, here's what the price change looks like. Here's what the volume change looks like. There's things with cryptocurrency that I really like where I can see the daily active users that are trading that coin. So I can see if the daily number of active traders is going up, unique traders. So I can see that there's more and more people coming on board trading that coin. Those are all sorts of things that I can add that, I can't do as easily with stocks. So you can see these just because this is purely percentage increase. It's saying 700% gain type territory. As well as volume in order to fit on, but it doesn't sort of have that nice left to right pattern for most of them. And that one's 50%. It's really about how much have they changed since the start of the period. And so you might be able to find some, but I tend to like the weighted views more. This one here, which I just saw. Where's he gone? It looks like he had a big pullback. And again, you can zoom in on these just by scrolling. Yeah, see that one there? So, he was going up nice and steadily. Got no idea what it is. One of the things I'd like to do in a future version is, have a description for each one of these that tells you, what they are and what they do. But, he's had a massive pullback. So it'd be interesting to see if he's, likely to bounce off that recoverable. Anyway, as I said, that's just something, it's a toy that if you're interested in Bitcoin, you're very welcome to have a play with it, or, cryptocurrencies rather, you're very welcome to have a play with it. Very much interested in any sort of feedback. If you want to leave some feedback in the thread below, if there's anything you like, don't like about it, let me know. If there's anything you'd suggest that I should add to it, let me know. But I really want to keep it simple. Like my vision for this particular site is to have it with live data. So I want to have, always live data. At the moment, it's, based on end of day data. But I'd like to have it so you can just have it sitting on a monitor in the background, or you can just have it sitting on a TV screen in a pub or a TV screen in your bedroom, and all it will do is just these will drift around. They'll be animated. They'll be live data, and so you'll be able to have it so that you'll be able to see the coins move. And if there's something that you haven't seen before that sort of takes your interest, then it might be something you can add to your watch list or do more research, or in the world of crypto, take a punt. Put $10 on it or $100 on it and see what happens to it. But the crypto space can offer extraordinary returns, and at the same time it can offer extraordinary decreases in value. So anyway, that was just a couple of different sites. I'll leave the links in the description below, or the description above, the description below the video, the description above the comments. And again, interested to know what you think, and Maybe there's something already out there that does the same as this, but I am trying to focus on super clean, super simple, just a little bit of data here that gives you a little bit more information about the coin, and the idea that if price is steadily increasing and volume is steadily increasing, then there's a good chance that this coin has some momentum. And the earlier we can sort of find it somewhere down here on the bottom left, if we can identify it down here, then by the time it gets somewhere up here, we might be able to dollar cost average in, buy a bit more as it heads up, and do okay with some of these trades. You might trail it with a trailing stop loss. You might, just set stops. You might not have stops at all, and see where it goes. You've only got to have one of these that does particularly well to often pay off a lot of the ones that don't do so well, depending on how you're trading and how frequently you're trading. Anyway, hope you thought that was interesting. I like it.